I am Jennyvic M Buendia from BSc 2G. Together with my groupmates, let us explore the Philippines to discover the different indigenous creative crafts, specifically the weaving, from the different regions of the Philippines. Let us discover first who is Darhata Sawabi. Good day! Philippines has been known to have a lot of indigenous creative crafts. As the second group, we will be discussing about indigenous creative crafts, specifically the weaving. We will be discussing about 5 artists, namely Darhata Sawabi, Haja Amina Appi, Lang Dulay, Magdalena Gamayo, and Salinta Monon. The learning objective of this lesson is at the end of the discussion, the students are able to describe the different indigenous creative crafts, specifically the weaving found in the different parts or provinces of the country. In Parang, on the island of Halusulu, women weavers were hard at work weaving the piece shabit, the traditional cloth tapestry worn as a head covering of the tausug of Holo. Darhata Sawabi was one of those who took the art of piece shabit making to heart. So let's proceed to the introduction of Darhata Sawabi. Do you have an idea? If yes, then that's good. If not, Teacher Ara will discuss it to you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Hyro Camposano from BSc 2C, and today I am going to discuss what is Darhata Sawabi. Darhata Sawabi is a Filipino weaver from Parang Sulu, known as for Pishabit, a traditional tausug cloth pastry worn as a head covering by the people of Hulu. She is a recipient for the National Living Treasures Award, having the given for distinction in 2004. She is unmarried. Sawabi does weaving as a means of livelihood since farming. A common source for income for Parang families is not suitable for herself. Pishabit weaving is a tedious work. It takes 3 days for the warp alone to be made. Darhata Sawabi remained faithful to the art of Pishabit weaving. By the age of 48, she employs the help for apprentice weavers and children in her work. In the 1970s, she has to move residence at least twice due to the Moro conflict. Sawabi died on March 12, 2005, about a year after she was given the National Living Treasures Award.
What is piece sayabit? Etymology: piece refers to the geometric pattern that is said to be derived from the Indic mandala. Sayabit stands for the hook and the technique. The piece or piece sayabit is a multicolored woven cloth of tausug square in format measuring 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters. It is made from cotton and silk, and the other occasion strands of gold thread are woven into it. The women of Sulu are the original weavers of piece sayabit. It takes quite some time to be made as it's woven by hand. Without any forms of machinery except a backstrap loom, the patterns, however, are all made by hand. Since the weavers are Muslim, their religion informs them to avoid creating images that replicate humans, plants, and their flowers and animals. Therefore, they opt for geometrical patterns instead.
So here are the example of artworks of Darhata Sawabi. Her strokes firm and sure, her color sensitivity acute, and her dedication to the quality of his sayabit unwavering. Because of her dedication to her art, generations of traditional tausug design have been preserved and are available for contemporary appreciation
and future study. Also, it is a traditional worn by the Tausug men, has headdresses or as clothing accessories folded neatly and draped over the left shoulder and worn along with the lapi or upper garments and the sawal or loose trousers that symbolize the weaver's elevated position in society or to indicate their power or status.
Nowadays, peace shabit can be worn by anyone, and it has been incorporated not only into pieces of clothing, but also into accessories such as bucket hats, scarves, bandanas, laptop sleeve, and bags. Even fish shabit face masks are now available due to the pandemic. So in February 2022, high fashion jewelry designer Ann Ong met with Kusog Tausug Party List representative Cherie Lou to collaborate on promoting peace shabit. Designer Ann Ong promote peace shabit tapestry of Sulu in New York, spreading Tausug culture. Cherie Lou promotes peace shabit as a solution to poverty. Even though peace shabit is a famous art form that is exclusive in the region, many of the people of Sulu, including the Tausug, still face poverty. That's why party list lawmaker Shirley Tambut actively promoted the peace shabit, mentioning that for every purchase of peace shabit, a family in Sulu can slowly find their way out of poverty. Indeed, because of Darhata Sawabi's dedication to her art, generation of traditional Tausug designs have been preserved and are available for contemporary appreciation and future study. Do you have any questions or clarifications? If not, then that's all for our report. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have learned something from us. And now that we already tackled about Darhata Sawabi, let's proceed to Haja Amina Appi.
Good day, everyone! Welcome to another set of learning and understanding indigenous creative crafts from different regions. Before we start, I'd like you to know myself first. So, I'm Eliza B. Surasa from BSE2L. Today, me and my group mates will discuss the style of weaving of Haja Amina Appi. Let us know first whose Haja Amina Appi is. So, Haja Amina Appi was born on June 25, 1925. She was a Filipino master, mat weaver, and a teacher from the Sama indigenous people of Ungos Matata Tandubas, Tawi-Tawi. She died on April 2, 2013 at the age of 88. She was credited for creating colorful pandan mats with a complex geometric patterns. So, with a face exuding serenity, her hands are thick, dye-stained from a lifetime of harvesting pandanus and the drawing out of dream-like designs of her mats. And yet, her creations were acclaimed from their precise sense of design, proportion and asymmetry, and sensitivity to color. So, behind of her unique artwork, it says that the most difficult part of her craft is calling from the ethnic memory of visualization and the execution of design. So, meaning to say, it is a high precision work where it requires the mastery of the medium and an instinctive sense of proportion and asymmetry and even symmetry. Haja Amina Appi was a legend creating a textile, particularly Sama traditional weaving. So, she was recognized as a gawad sa manlilikha ng bayan or Gamaba awardee
in 2004. So, an award is equivalent to the National Artist bestowed only for indigenous people of the Philippines. That's all for my discussion, but don't worry because the rest of my group mate will have further discussion and help you to have a deeper understanding about Haja Amina Appi and her artwork. So I hope you've learned something. Thanks for watching and God bless everyone.
Good morning everyone, I'm Justine Cadag and I will discuss the Haja Amina Appi famous pandan mats. These are some examples of colorful pandan mats. Haja Amina Appi was credited for creating colorful pandan mats with a complex of geometric patterns. Her creations were acclaimed for their precise sense of design, proportions, symmetry, and sensitivity to color. Haja Amina Appi is respected throughout her community for her unique designs, the straightness of her tabig or edgings, and the fineness of her sasa and kima. Her hands are thick and callous from years of harvesting stained by style. But her hands are still steady and her eyes for color still unerring. So, sa ilang dekada niyang gumagawa ng pandan mats, nagkaroon na ng mga kalos or kalyo ang kanyang kamay. At nang dahil na rin sa mga dagta ng pandan. Ngunit nananatili pa rin matatag ang kanyang kamay at mata para makagawa pa ng mga makukulay at iba't ibang disenyo ng pandan mats.
Good day everyone, I'm Lorie May from BSE2C. So, where province it was produced? Haja Amina Appi's weaving was produced in Angas Matata, Tandobas, Tawi-Tawi province. Tawi-Tawi is located in the southernmost part of the Philippines and is known for its cultural heritage, including traditional weaving practices. The province's natural resources, such as pandan leaves, are utilized in the weaving process to create beautiful and intricate mats. Tawi-Tawi's weaving tradition has been passed down through generations. What materials does she use for weaving? Haja Amina Appi's primarily used is pandan leaves for her weaving. Pandan leaves are harvested and made into narrow, long strip, sun-dried, pressed, and dyed before finally becoming for weaving. These leaves are harvested from the forest, specifically the thorny leaf variety, which produces longer and sturdier matting strips. Haja Amina Appi fearlessly gathers the leaves to create her beautiful woven pieces. The leaves are then stripped using a tool called a jangat dium or striper to create long and even strips, which are used in the weaving process.
Good day everyone, especially to you Ma'am Marimar Mignolas. So today I will discuss on how Haja Amina Appi made her signature mat. But before I start, allow me to introduce myself first. I am Bolo Patrick Hyro from 2D. And without further ado, let's start our discussion. So the process starts with harvesting the wild funda leaves from the forest. The Sama weavers refers to the thorny leaf variety because it produces stronger and sturdier matting strips. Although the terms are huge and unrelenting, Haja Amina does not hesitate from gathering the leaves. First, she removes the thorns using small knife. Then she strips the leaves with jangat deum or strippers to make long and even strips. These strips are sun-dried then pressed using binagus beneath a large log. She then dyes the strips by boiling them for a few minutes in hot water mixed with anjibi or commercial dye. As an artist, she has refused to limit herself to traditional plain white mats for her purpose, but experimented with the use of anjibi, and because commercial dyes are often bold or tricky enough for her taste, she has taken to experimenting with color and developing her own tint to obtain the desired hues. Her favorite color are red, purple, and yellow, but her mats sometimes feature up to 8 colors at a time. Her complicated design gain power from the interplay of various shades, often obtaining several sets of different colored matting strips. She then sun-dries them for 3 to 4 days and press them again until they are pliant. Finally, she waves them into colorful geometric design. Instead of beginning at the outermost edge of the mat, she instead waves a central strip to form a mat's backbone, then work to expand the mat from within. Although the techniques she used to make the mats are traditional, she has come up with some of her own modern design. According to Haja Amina, what is more difficult than mixing of the color is the visualization, execution of the design itself. It is high precision work requiring a mastery of the medium and an intensive sense of symmetry and proportion.
And now, let's proceed to Lang Dulay.
Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about another famous weaver in the Philippines. She is Lang Dulay, also known as the Dream Weaver. So get ready to watch, listen, and learn.
My name is Joycee G. Buenaflor from Section 2A. Who is Lang Dulay? A Filipino traditional weaver and a recipient of the National Living Treasure Award. Born on August 3, 1928, Lang Dulay was a Tibuli princess from the Lake Cebu region in South Cotabato, also known as the Dream Weaver. She was the face of tinalak weaving as she mastered the act and produced more than 100 designs of the now famous tinalak cloth of South Cotabato's Tibuli tribe. In 1988, she received the Gawad Manlilikhanang Bayan or the National Living Treasure Award from the National Commission for Culture and Arts. She set up the Manlilikhanang Bayan Center in Barangay Lamdalag, Lake Cebu. Lang Dulay was the famous by her designs including the Bulang Langit or the clouds, the banking or the hair bangs, and the kabangi or the butterfly. She is also earned the moniker the Dream Weaver as according to the Tibuli elders as the first made the tinala cloth at the early age after she dreamed it.
Good day to all of you. I'm Jennyvic Bricenio, BSE 2N. My topic is about the Tibuli tribe and the Tinalak cloth. The Tibuli tribe. Tibuli tribe known as Taiji, Abaka cloth and metal industry, including Antoiseta, cost, wax, and brass casting. Tibuli people, Austrian, ethnic group, native to South Cotabato and southern Mindanao in the Philippines. During our Lake Cebu trip, they were very approachable and responded to us with a smile when we request to have a picture with them. The Tibuli people are mostly found in the mountain slope of Ala Valley and coastal area of Maitom and Maasim Kaimba. They're the main source of livelihood yung mga pamumuhay nila like is farming, fishing, and hunting. The second picture is called Tibuli Weaver. The Tibuli Weaver of South Cotabato, Highlands, in Mindanao are also known as weavers. They have an abaca textile. The second picture is about the map of Tibuli tribe location, where we known as located at Sultan Kudarat, South Cotabato, General Santos City, and Sarangani. There are other information about the Tibuli people. Their creative can also be seen, and the quality of their metalworks like bracelet, anklets, and figurines. Other body ornament, beaded necklace, and brush rings, which is they wear in all fingers. So, pag sinabi daw na yung tinalak, ano bang sa unang nyo, pangdinig, what is tinalak? Tinalak, it's about also weaving traditional, the Tibuli people of South Cotabato and the Philippines. Tinalak cloth is so woven exclusively by women who have received the design for the weave and their dreams. So, natatanggap daw nila yung sa panaginip, yung mga designs, na naniniwala sila that believe or give from Pudula. Si Pudula is goddesses of Abaca. So, the origin of it is design what makes the tinalak angkwi. Ibig sabihin, kakaiba. Compared to many other rich garments of Mindanao. So, kakaiba siyang sa Mindanao na mga designs.
Tinalak has a distinctive tricolor sheen, which is white for the pattern and red for relief elements and black or deep brown for the background.
That's all. Thank you for your listening. Once again, I'm Jennyvic Bricenio, your reporter for the Tibuli and Tinalak.
Good day, everyone. I am Bitara Margaret F. from BSA 2A. My report is about how tinalak cloth is made or tinalak weaving process, lang dulay works, and the process of abaca fiber. I want you to watch this short video on how tinalak cloth is made.
Tinalak production begins with harvesting the abaca and preparing the fibers in a process known as tidungon. Next comes the timbong, wherein the artisans carefully separates individual fibers and connect each thread end to end by tying the knot to create spools of abaca thread. In a process called samdang, these threads are carefully laid down in bamboo poles with precise thread counts and are again arranged and knotted depending on the thread count needed for a specific design. This process can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. Weaving or muel can take anywhere from 1 to 2 months depending on the complexity of the design and the length of the fabric. If you notice, the weavers use backstrap loom called the gogong. The loom is strapped on the back of the weaver to provide stability, and another piece of wood is attached to the feet. Strip, split, knot, design, tie, dye, weave, pound, iron. Each step involved in the tinalak production is a complex step mastered by the Tibuli people of Lake Cebu for many generations. It is a way of life handed from generations to the next that formed the unique culture and identity of the Tibuli communities.
If you can see naman po sa napanood nyong short video, ganun po yung kanilang proseso ng paggawa nila ng tinalak. Which is, mahirap po dahil gawang kamay lang po and yun na din po yung nagiging hanap buhay nila para lang may pangtustos sila sa kanilang mga anak. Process. The fibers are harvested from the abaca tree and prepared in a process called kidongon. The two metal blades are used to remove the pulp, thereby exposing the filaments which are manually worked into fine threads. In the process known as timbong, the artisan will connect the threads from end to end, making a spool of yarn. Timogo, or commonly known as jeng, could be done in ikat style where the fibers are boiled using natural pigments. In the process of weaving, known as miwel, miwel is done on a backstrap loom with a bamboo contraption. Weaving one piece of cloth could take up to 1 month or uninterrupted work. Surprisingly, the weavers could only weave in the morning and afternoon because abaca fibers are sensitive to high temperature. The final stage, known as simaki, involved burnishing the fabric with a cowrie shell. Not oil is added to condition the fabric. Langdulay works. Langdulay po is familiar with hand-read design, including dabuling langit or clouds, bangkering or hair bangs, and kabingi or tinatawag ding butterfly. Based sa na-research ko po yung bawat particular na kwentong hinahatid kay Langdulay, madali niyang iniikot ang kanyang kwento gamit ang pula at itim na tela. And then yung tela po ay nagpapahayag din ng karunungan at mga pangitain ng kanyang mga tao. Abaca fiber. This process is for making abaca fiber is for measure. Kung mapapansin nyo po, may 4 po tayong proseso sa paggawa po ng abaca fiber. Which is yung una po is yung, kung makikita nyo po sa picture is yung pag-aani ng tangkay. And then yung pangalawa po is yung pagkuha ng hibla. Yung pangatlo po yung pagpapatuyo and the last one po, grading and baling. That's all. Thank you po.
Hi everyone, this is Divina Rica from BSE 2J. So I am going to discuss po about the preparation of abaca fibers for weaving, which is the continuation lang naman po of the last topic of Miss Margaret. Next is the final process of producing the tinalak cloth, and lastly, the contributions of Langdulay to the Philippine contemporary art. So in the preparation of the abaca fibers for weaving, we have here the setting or semdang. This is the process of preparing the fibers on the gonosmoy or loom for knotting. This stage involves realigning good threads in preparation for designing. So here, mano-mano pong ina-align rito yung abaca fibers sa tinatawag na gonosmoy or special loom, just like what you see in the picture. So the next step is designing or mebed, knotting the fibers prior to resist dyeing. This is a tedious and intricate process that can take up to 4 to 5 weeks as knot after knot is tied into place. This process po ay umaabot ng 4 o 5 weeks since yung mga Tiboli women ay di gumagamit ng sketches or patterns ng kanilang dinedesign. Isa pa po is dapat maingat at mabusisi rin ang pagkakatali ng mga fiber o hibla para maganda at accurate ang pagkakagawa sa pattern. So, in the picture, makikita natin na tinatalian yung ibang parte ng abaka depende kung anong design ang gagawin sa tinalak. So, the next step is dyeing or timugo, or gathering and preparing the natural dyes. In coloring the abaka strands, the Tiboli women make use of natural dyes found in vegetation around their area. So, kanina nga, na-mention na ang tinalak has 3 traditional colors, the black, red, and white. Hitem or the black dye is derived from the leaves of canalum tree, whereas hulo or the red dye is taken from the roots and bark shavings of the small-leafed loco tree. And the bukay or white color is from the natural color of the abaka. So, dyan po sa second picture, makikita po natin na pinapakuluan yung abaka fiber kasama nung natural dye para makulayan po yung abaka fiber. So, once na okay na yung mga gagamiting kulay, magpo-proceed na tayo sa paghahabi. Weaving or mevel, setting the dyed warp on the backstrap loom. The weaving stage can take around 14 days to a month depending on the character of the fiber and the complexity of the design. After the tinalak has been finally woven, the fabric is thoroughly washed in a cold river, and once it has been slightly air-dried, the tinalak is then beaten repeatedly with a hard and round wooden stick to help smoothen its surface. So, dyan po sa first picture, makikita natin na hinahabi na yung tinalak cloth. Then, after ng paghabi, gaya ng nasa second picture, the tinalak cloth is then beaten repeatedly with a hard, round wooden stick para maging mas smooth yung surface ng cloth. Now we are in the final process of producing the tinalak cloth. It is called ironing or simaki, burnishing the surface of the tinalak. The final phase involves burnishing the cloth surface with a saki or cowrie shell, while the fabric is still moist. The shell is firmly rubbed repeatedly on the tinalak in order to flatten it and produce an even coruscating gloss, or to bring out the cloth's natural luster. Then finally, you have your finished product tinalak cloth. So let's come now to the contributions of Langdulay to the Philippine contemporary art. In 1998, Langdulay and fellow awardee Salinta Monon were invited to present their works at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. in United States as part of the Philippine Independence Centennial Celebration. Their works received recognition from critics and tourists, and making their textiles significant. Gawad Manlilikha Award ng Bayan. She was in her late 70s when she was recognized by the National Commission for Culture and Arts or NCCA as Living Treasure or Manlilikha ng Bayan for her contribution on the indigenous arts. The former President Fidel V. Ramos bestowed her the Gawad Manlilikha Award ng Bayan because of her amazing craftsmanship and particular artistic skills. So this is where our discussion ends. Thank you for watching.
And now, let's proceed to Magdalena Gamayo.
Good day everyone. My name is Cherie Lou from BSE 2C. Our topic today is about Magdalena Gamayo. And who is Magdalena Gamayo? Magdalena Gamayo is known for being an Annabelle, the Ilocano hand-woven cloth maker. Her skills started to develop at age of 16 in the middle of World War II. Lola Magdalena was introduced to the traditional art of weaving using a simple contraption. Annabelle, the Master Weaver, born was August 13, 1924, at the age of 99. The nationality is Filipino. His style is Ilocano traditional Annabelle weaving. Awards is National Living Treasures or Gawad sa Manlilikha ng Bayan o Gamaba. Famous artwork is Inobon Asabong, meaning a string of flowers. Famous artwork is a design created by Magdalena Gamayo with a unique and difficult weaving technique called pinilian. This is also the design that made Magdalena Gamayo to be nominated and be one of the Gawad Manilikha ng Bayan awardees. Magdalena Gamayo continues to share her knowledge and skills to the women of her community. There are more than a dozen women working in the weaving workshop that was built in her honor, some already learning the intricate designs of Lola Magdalena's as they continue to weave alongside their mentor and other aspiring weavers.
Good day, I am Melanie Bobijes from BSC2G. I will discuss about abel or inabel weaving of Ilocos. Abel or inabel weaving is a traditional handloom weaving technique that originated in the Ilocos region of the Philippines. It is known for producing high-quality textiles with intricate patterns and vibrant colors. The term abel or inabel refers to the woven fabric itself, which is typically made from cotton or a combination of cotton and abaca fibers. The weaving process involves the use of a traditional wooden handloom called pagablan or bangbangsit, which is operated manually by the weaver. The patterns and design in abel or inabel weaving are often inspired by nature, folklore, and the weaver's creativity. Common motifs include geometric shapes, flowers, animals, and traditional symbols. The colors used in the textiles are achieved through natural dyes made from plants and other organic materials, resulting in a rich and vibrant palette. The weaving technique requires great skill and precision. The weaver carefully threads the warp and weft threads through the loom, creating the desired pattern. The process can be time-consuming, with complex designs taking several days or even weeks to complete. Abel or inabel textiles are known for their durability and versatility. They are used to create a wide range of products, including blankets, table runners, clothing, bags, and accessories. The fabrics are often thick and tightly woven, making them suitable for various purposes and climates. The abel or inabel weaving tradition has been passed down through generations in the Ilocos region, with many families having their own weaving techniques and patterns. It is not only a means of livelihood for the weavers, but also a way to preserve their cultural heritage and identity. Today, abel or inabel weaving continues to be practiced and celebrated in the Ilocos region. Efforts are being made to promote and preserve this traditional craft with weaving cooperatives, workshops, and exhibitions showcasing the beauty and craftsmanship of abel textiles. The artistry and cultural significance of abel or inabel weaving have gained recognition both locally and internationally.
Importance of inabel weaving. Magdalena Gamayo became a master in craft and considered as the most distinguished weaver in today's time, as she was awarded the Gawad sa Manlilikha ng Bayan or the National Living Treasure in 2012. The unique weave that Magdalena Gamayo produces usually show a pattern that resembles a string of flowers called inobon asabong. The National Commission on Culture and the Art noticed the dedication of Magdalena Gamayo when it comes to craftsmanship and her exemplary performance that inspire a lot of people in our country. One of the many prides of Ilocos Norte is the enable, or more popularly known as Able Iloco, which means hand-woven cloth. Considered as Ilocano cultural treasure, it is still being manufactured and nurtured in the towns of Pauay, Sarat, and Pinili to this day. Able weaver Magdalena Gamayo from Lumbaan, Pinili Town was recognized and awarded as Gawad sa Manlilikha ng Bayan or National Living Treasure in 2012. Technique use of enable. The traditional process of weaving able cloth begins with preparing the cotton from picking cotton's ball, removing seeds, pounding or beating, twisting using a spindle, and weaving the cotton yarn into the skeiner. The skein yarn is then brushed to make it glossy and durable before it's wound to a bamboo spool. Weaving is a method of textile production in which two distinct sets of yarns or threads are interlaced at right angles to form a fabric or cloth. Cloth is usually woven on a loom, a device that holds the wrapped threads in place with filling threads are woven through them. Enable important to Ilocano. The able cloth is well known and much loved for its softness, beautiful designs, and strength. Ilocos weavers are use hardwood pedal looms employing different design techniques. The binakol pattern and this ring pattern is meant to ward off and distract evil spirits to protecting the wearer. With the weaving technique perfect by Ilocos weaver over the years, enable holds a profound significance today as it preserves centuries-old designs and patterns that depict the lives and culture embedded into the very fabric of the region's indigenous weaving tradition. Young weavers keep enable tradition alive. Enable, the graduates were the able sublime with National Living Treasure Magdalena Gamayo and Program Director Dr. Edwin Antonio. A short-term course on able cloth weaving is being offered in Pinili Town to keep the local weaving industry alive. The younger generation of Ilocanos are being encouraged to keep the tradition of enable alive. In the town of Pinili in Ilocos Norte, the local government has been offering basic weaving courses to all interested individuals since 2018. The lessons are presided over Magdalena Gamayo, one of the country's national living treasure.
I am Hazel Brina, one of the reporter, and one of our topic is about Magdalena Gamayo. And my assigned topic is where province it produced of one of the famous work of Magdalena, which is Inabel. But first, what is Inabel? Inabel is made of cotton and may be plain or pattern. So where province it was produced? It produced in Ilocos Norte. So upon discovering, Inabel is a unique hand-woven fabric native to the Ilocano region in the Philippines. We knew that we had stumbled upon something truly special, coming from the root verb abel, which means to weave. Inabel fabric is woven on ancient handlooms using specific techniques handed down through generation. And Magdalena Gamayo is a national living treasure of Ilocos Norte, and Magdalena Gamayo and his work, Inabel, is pride of Ilocos Norte. That's why we need to support the local and natural indigenous crops, especially the materials like cotton, banana, pinya, abaca. Pwede nating pagyamanin ito kasi unang-una mababa yung carbon footprint na ipinoproduce niya. It is sustainable and it will help our local agriculture because we need to appreciate, especially it is natural and it can never be pollute our environment. Thank you.
Last but not the least, let's proceed to Salinta Monon.
Good day everyone, I am Shiela May from BSE 2N and I will discuss the early life of Salinta Monon. Salinta Monon was a Filipino textile weaver who was the one of two recipients of the National Living Treasures Award in 1998. She was known for her Bagobo Tagabawa textiles and was known as the last Bagobo weaver. Monon was born on December 12, 1920 and grew up in Bituag, Bansalan in Davao del Sur and died on June 24, 2009 at the age of 88. Salinta Monon watched her mother weave ikat, a traditional abaca fabric, when she was a child. She asked her mother how to use the loom at the age of 12 and learned how to weave within a few months. So at the young age, Salinta was already exposed to weaving kasi yung mama niya ay isa ring weaver. So practically, since she was born, Salinta Monon had watched her mother's nimble hands glide over the loom. So bata pa lang siya, nakikita na niya ang mama niya na naghahabi. So that at the age of 12, madali niyang natutunan kung paano maghabi or kung paano mag-weaving. So she weaves a design for 3 to 4 months and in a month, she can weave fabric which can be used for a single abaca tube skirt which measures 3.5 times 0.42 meters. And her favorite design is the binuaya or crocodile, which is said to be among the most difficult to weave. Salinta grew up to be a beautiful lady. She caught the attention of many men, but there was only one man who caught her attention, and that is Agton Monon. Due to her reputation as a weaver, Agton Monon had to pay a high bride price to her father Dato Bansalan Bara for him to be allowed to marry her. So dahil isang farmer si Agton Monon, he had to pay a higher bride price to Salinta's father para sila ay maikasal. The two got married on July 4, 1946 and they had 6 children. Salinta Monon had to manage the farm after her husband died in the 1970s. So after her husband died, Salinta tended the farm and took care of her children and continued weaving as a source of extra income. So, with the effort to preserve the living form of the cultural heritage, Salinta Monon passed her legacy and indigenous skills and techniques in abaca weaving to the younger generations through the School of Living Tradition in Barangay Bituag, Bansalan, Davao del Sur.
Umunlad man ang ating bansa, nag-iba man ang ating pamamaraan ng pamumuhay sa pamamagitan ng makabagong teknolohiya, may mga nananatili pa ring bagay na parte ng ating kultura. Bukod sa impluwensya ng mga bansang sumakop sa atin, may mga iniwan sa ating pamana ang ating mga ninuno, mga bagay na tunay na sariling atin. One of those is the colorful tradition of weaving. Good day, I'm Melanie Cambiado from BSE 2I and today we're going to tackle about the contribution of Salinta Monon. Manlilikha ng bayan, Salinta Monon is known for the quality of her work and intricacies of her designs. The following are her notable works. The first one is the inabal. Inabal is a woven cloth made from abaca and natural dyes. It is a textile highly valued in Bagobo society. The next one is the binuwaya or the crocodile. One of the many designs she weaves, the binuwaya or the crocodile was her favorite design and it's said to be one of the most difficult to weave. So now, let's proceed to SLT or the School of Living Traditions. Are education institutions in the Philippines dedicated to the indigenous arts, crafts, and other traditions. Si Monon at ang kanyang nakabatang kapatid na babae na lamang ang natitirang Bagobo weavers in their community. So she dreamed of having a structure built for teaching young generation the art of weaving.
with the effort to preserve the living forms of cultural heritage, Salinta Monon passed her legacy and indigenous skills and techniques in abaca weaving to the younger generation through the School of Living Tradition in Barangay Bitaog, Bansalan, Davao del Sur. In order for the people of Bansalan, Davao del Sur to remember that a national living treasure came from this town, a birth-centennial bust statue and marker of the late Salinta Monon was unveiled by municipal government last May 16, 2022. And according to my research, Rodrigo Duterte declared a year-long celebration named Centennial Year of Salinta Monon from December 12, 2021 in her honor. Thus, we Filipinos should be proud of our indigenous arts and promote it in every way we would. We can use social media to spread the beauty of our local arts. We must never close our eyes to our own culture because it made us who we really are and it symbolized us for being a Filipino.
Binuwaya of Salinta Monon. Salinta Monon, one of the most difficult and favored designs, the binuwaya, or crocodile. Her meticulousness in weaving enabled her to easily identify the designs as well as a weaver of a particular piece at a glance. According to Cherie Lou, an anthropologist based in New York, the origin of Monon's design can be dated back as early as 1910s. Monon was awarded the National Living Treasure Award in 1998. Upon receiving this award, the Gawad sa Manlilikha ng Bayan in 1998, she helped establish the School of Living Tradition in Banansalan, Davao del Sur, where she taught the art of weaving to the younger generations in her community.
Finally, we are done exploring to the different regions of the Philippines. So far, have you learned something? Or do you still remember what we had discussed? Okay, let's have a short review on what we had discussed. Darhata Sawabi is known for piece shabit, a traditional cloth tapestry worn as a head covering of the tausug of holo. While Haja Amina Appi is known for pandan mats with complex geometric pattern. Lang Dulay is the face of tinalak weaving that she produced 100 designs. Magdalena Gamayo is a master weaver of inabul cloth from Ilocos region. And Salinta Monon is known for textile weaver from Davao del Sur. Do you have any questions or clarifications? If none, then that's all for our report. I am Jennyvic M from BSE 2G. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have learned something from our lesson. Have a nice day ahead.